Hey, what's up, family? This is the 59th episode of Tone's Take, and I'm going to talk about Hope Hicks and her leaving the White House. And all I have to say is this. No, but really, I feel so bad for Hope Hicks. I mean, she did the best she could. She was like the closest person to Donald Trump, and you know, a little white lying here and there to cover up for Mr. Trump. And all of a sudden she's decided to call it quits. Now I'm reading from a Quartz article here. Yes, Donald Trump's probably most trusted spokesperson. You know, she pretty much refused to comment on a lot of things during his 2016 presidential campaign. But now her unexpected departure from the White House was similarly subdued. There are no words to adequately express my gratitude to President Trump. I don't even know how she sounds, Hicks said in a written statement circulated by the White House. I wish the president and the administration the very best as he continues to lead our country. Now, of course, as this article goes on to say, Hicks was the president's longest serving aide in the White House, aside from his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law. Her exit was preceded by the departure of Steve Bannon, the previous communications director, Sean Spicer, Anthony Scaramucci, Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, who sounds like a Star Wars character, and national security officials Michael Flynn and Sebastian Gorka. Now, you cannot tell me, folks, that Donald Trump is not fulfilling campaign promises. This man said he would drain the swamp. And is that not what he's doing? Is he not draining the swamp? He didn't say what swamp. He didn't say that it would be his own swamp, but he's literally like cleaning house. This is better than watching any season of House of Cards right now. I really wish that we had like Big Brother White House edition or Survivor White House edition, because I would just love to see how all this stuff is really transpiring inside those four walls of the White House. It's amazing. Here's a list of like all the firings and people that have left the White House since like last year. You had Sally Yates, the acting attorney general, who was dismissed after she refused to defend Trump's travel ban. Michael Flynn, the national security advisor, who was mired in controversy after news reports surfaced that he misled officials, including Vice President Pence, about his communications with Russian ambassador. Angela Reed, the chief usher, was fired for unclear reasons. It is unusual for a chief usher to be dismissed and then typically hold their positions for several years. James Comey, of course, the FBI director. I mean, who we don't even need to talk much about him. Walter Shaw, the director of the Office of Government Ethics. Sean Spicer, Spicy. You all remember Spicy? The press secretary's tumultuous tenure, which was marked by standoffs with the press, culminated in his resignation when Trump went against his advice to hire Scaramucci. You have Michael Short, the senior assistant press secretary, Reince Priebus, who after a 6-month tenure, which was marked by staff infighting, the chief of staff was often a target of Trump loyalists, so he left. Scaramucci himself, controversial communications director, stepped down after a miraculous 11 days on the job. He came in, 11 days later said, no, I can't even deal with this stuff. Sebastian Gorka, the controversial counterterrorism. What was his position? I'm sorry. Yeah, he was the counterterrorism advisor, and I don't care to hear that right now. But anyway, yeah, the list goes on. Tom Price, Dina Powell, Omarosa, who left in December, Rob Porter, of course, whose resignation as a White House staff secretary came after domestic abuse allegations, which they tried to hide, and then they tried to, continue to brush under the carpet and say, oh, it's not a big idea, and I don't know why this thing continues to go to another page. But anyway, I'm dealing with technical issues here. Oh my gosh, stop. But anyway, I mean, it just goes on. And so after that, it was Josh Raffel. He's going to be leaving soon as well. He's the deputy communications director. And then Hope Hicks. So it's just amazing how many people just keep leaving. It's really like you're watching House of Cards. And Donald Trump just keeps losing people left and right. So On Tuesday, Hope was apparently more forthcoming to Congress, testifying to the House Intelligence Committee investigating Russia's interference in the 2016 election that her job meant she had occasionally told white lies, this according to the New York Times. Whether Hicks' departure had anything to do with that testimony is unclear. The White House seemed to suggest on Wednesday that she got another job. Of course, you embellish on why she's leaving. I will miss having her by my side, but when she approached me about pursuing other opportunities, I totally understood, President Trump said in a statement. I am sure we will work together again in the future, he added. Now, Hicks is 29 years old, which I'm like, wow, she's done a lot considering her age. And I'm not saying that because she's a female. I mean, men and women at the age of 29 to have such a position at the White House, I think is pretty amazing. So, Chief of Staff John Kelly wrote in a statement that she's strategic, poised, and wise beyond her years. She's a third-generation public relations professional. She was a teen model who grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut, so I'm pretty sure that meant that she was very, very privileged. Hicks had no experience in politics before joining the Trump Organization in 2014. She joined at the behest of Trump's daughter Ivanka, whose fashion brand had hired the PR agency where Hicks worked. Hicks quickly became one of Donald Trump's most trusted advisors. I don't know how she accomplished that feat. I'm not making any allusions to anything here. And was part of the team that crafted the candidate and now president responses to a string of controversies and upsets. Hicks was involved in drafting a statement about Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with Russian nationals in Trump Tower that is reportedly the focus of the ongoing FBI investigation into the Russian election interference. And the White House's bungled reaction to the news that aide Robert Porter had been accused, of course, of domestic abuse. So, yeah, I mean, we should just all start to take bets. I wonder if in Las Vegas they have bets on who of President Trump's staff is going to leave next, because this just seems to be a recurring theme. It seems like every month he loses at least one or two characters in his little show. So I don't know. My thoughts are I'm not happy that Trump keeps losing people. I mean, obviously, in order to run the White House, you need people who are capable, who you trust to run things. But at the same time, if these people are telling white lies, a lie is a lie. And if you're lying to hide things, you need to be out. And I think, I don't know what happened, but obviously Hope Hicks, whether she was forced or whether she found another job, I think she read the writing on the wall that she had better leave, because she is going to get a whole lot of mess coming her way. So let me get your thoughts on the whole Hope Hicks thing. Was she right to leave? Do you think that telling a white lie? No, I know you all are going to agree that telling a white lie is not a good thing, especially in the White House when you have been chosen to, lead someone who is leading the leader of a nation, and you're lying to keep them in power. That's just not right. So yeah, that's all I've got today. Let's get back to my awesome song here, and I will leave you with that.